Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Black Ice with me, Alpha Bio Omega, in Soviet Union. So the previous episode was it's in heavy fighting. It's in heavy fighting in Spain, and we've seen a border conflict spark in the Far East, in Chita, where our forces are attacked by the Japanese. But in both regions, I think we're making some progress. In Chita, our forces are repelling the enemy forces. So we've already repelled a number of them, and we're continuing the fight very well, though they can pierce us. Do you guys have tanks? I think you actually do, right? You have, yes, the white tanks. And you guys, the cavalry. You also have a tank? You do, you have the cavalry tanks. Okay, I keep forgetting about that. So, unfortunately, they can pierce them, but we still have the tanks there, which is good. And because they are attacking us across a river, they are in the situation that I was trying to prevent myself getting into, which is attacking across a river. Riveting commentary. In Spain, we have managed to conquer Huesca, and then our forces were moved south towards Almeria, where they were re-equipped, and then they attacked this river region opposite to Cordoba, and now they will move towards Sevilla, sort of southwest westwards. I think it's the way you would put that. But we're going to try to gain this entire region before we send our troops to stabilize the situation in Madrid, because it's looking a little bit desperate there from what I can see, and we're probably losing a lot of troops and equipment there. But before we do that, I wanted to actually have a look at our casualties in equipment and troops in the Spanish Civil War. So, interestingly, we're losing way more equipment to attrition than to fighting, and we haven't really lost all that much. About 218 infantry equipment, 378 uniforms, compared to 409 infantry equipment and 666 uniforms lost to attrition. We lost about 30 light artillery pieces, 15 infantry guns, 16 machine guns, 60 horse transport, 30 medium artillery pieces, 47 tankettes. Oh wow, 79 pieces of heavy artillery and 54 pieces of light artillery. That's interesting compared to... Wait, why is it... Oh, that's light anti-tank, that's not light artillery, okay. Interesting, we lost only 29 pieces of light artillery, but we lost 79 pieces of heavy. 6 cavalry tanks and 40 light tanks. Compared to that, the enemy has lost over 1,000 pieces of uniforms, 821 pieces of infantry equipment, 37 light anti-tanks, 100 machine guns, 85 mortars, 41 handheld anti-tanks, 3 light tanks, 1 medium artillery piece, 5 light artillery pieces, 10 transport trucks. No tanks though. I found that we actually encountered the Panzer Division of the Germans, but I must have been mistaken. They're here. Interesting. Well, either way, I think at this point we can unpause. See if our troops can actually get there. They do have a pillbox here, but once our troops get into the position, we should be fine. Why are you moving so many troops over there? Come on. Rail. Rail, rail, rail. Rail is our strength. And again, we're having an issue with energy. We really need to prioritize these power plants, unfortunately. How's the... Actually, let's have a look at the second 5-year plan. So we have finished the oil requirements and the ore requirements. How are we doing on the rest? Leningrad is getting very close, but the rest is just gone. You're probably not gonna make it. Steel mills. We need more Steelmans than German Reich. We need more more steel mills. They have 60 or more than 70. Okay, I guess we have 55 right now. Seems like it. Gosplan heavy industry. With the stability gains that we're getting now, I think we might want to get the military factories here. It's gonna take 125. Well, actually, no, we want that advisor. Then we're gonna start investing in. But I'm starting to feel like we're definitely not getting the 5-year plan done. It is mostly because I do not really focus on the industry that much. We're focusing almost exclusively on research so far. So that's making everything way more difficult for us. Okay, guys, so attacking in planes, and the enemy is actually completely oblivious to the modern army composition, so we should be doing good. So we get the Type 10 fighter, the Polikarpov I-16. It's a Type 10, so it's an upgrade to the ones that we had before. I-15 light fighter. I don't think we want that. We're not producing close air support or anything either. So let's actually switch back to doctrine. Infrastructure destruction or home defense. Let's go with home defense. Spotters on the ground as well as detection and listing posts work in concert with our air force to track and destroy enemy fighters. Alright, so we're making significant progress here. Yeah, even on the defensive they do way less damage than we do. So that's really good. But it would be beneficial for us if we spread out our forces a little bit more. But there was fighting going on over here, so I opted out to not do that. How's this looking? Still pretty good. We can be happy about that. Alright, we just got 150, but we need 195 for you. So I just have to sit tight and make sure it happens. Guys, you really need to take control of the situation around Madrid. I'm doing my best over here and I'll reinforce you very soon, but until then, you guys are on your own. So please do not, you know, die there. Nice, dispersed industry coming soon. That's gonna be a decent bonus. Look at how this is going. That is really nice. Our forces are not bad. When they fight in an easy terrain with decent okay, you need to go here actually. We'll attack Chadis. Right now just repel this attack though, please. We should get reinforced relatively quickly. Yeah, we'll cause them massive damage here. Good. What about here? How's it going? 57. They keep throwing in more units, but we should still be able to defeat them. Yeah. And this is a long fight. Decision develop our mines. Pripiska is gonna happen soon. Try the conversion. Alright, Gosplan is done. And with Gosplan done, we can go to the ocean-going navy, which will give us the access to the Soviet naval research eventually. Name experience, Leningrad. Unify Red Fleet Purge. Well, okay, ocean-going navy. Although the Union encompasses a great land area, greater land area than any other nation on the planet. The oceans of the world are yet to be ruled by our ships. Heavy armored battleships will be part of our future ocean-going fleet. So you do that, you have fun with that. Interesting. Alright, we got a new research slot. Purely for aircraft. So, okay, what do we want? A light bomber, medium bomber, carrier fighter. I guess we want the Khazar support, because the ones that we have here are pretty bad. The Kharkiv R-10 was designed as a reconnaissance light bomber. Well, that doesn't really sound like, you know, trust in this. Trust in the plan, mate. Okay, but kind of like you to actually defend this area. Okay, dispersed industry. That is amazing. Well, dispersed industry can actually jump on these ones. Production efficiency growth or production efficiency cap. So let's go with the cap. 4% will make a big difference. This advancement to the humble light bulb means factories can work longer hours for less energy cost. The fact that they are actually earning us this much, and I mean they're attacking across a river. We should be able to just mop the floor with them. Guys, you really need to defend this area, alright? Don't lose Madrid. That would be sad. That would be really sad. Alright, medium artillery gun upgrade. Now we can do the heavy artillery gun barrel upgrade, which is the same thing, but just for heavy artillery. To enable heavier guns on lighter carriages, muzzle brakes can be included in howitzer design. Well, they're braking. They are braking. You guys for sure, they're gone, and that's their strongest unit. So that's the good news. The rest should be relatively easy. Guys, it would be kind of a cool thing for us to just repel this, alright? Break that attack. Damn. We need more energy. And interestingly, the dispersed industry does not help us or allow us to get more factories. I assume that the max factories in a state plus 10% would actually make a difference, but no, it doesn't. I can build more. That is not great. Okay, we no longer need these. Ore mines. Chromium mines. Bauxite mines. Nation building. We're gonna try nation building soon, but again, first we need to get the advisor. Alright, ocean-going navy is done. So now expand the Red Fleet, which will give us a lot of naval dockyards and a lot of bonuses, and help with the fleet purge, which hasn't happened yet, did it? I don't think we get just the Great Purge, but not specific navy, army, or fleet purge. The Red Fleet is pathetically weak compared to the navies of the imperialist powers. We must make its expansion a national priority. Speaking of which, you go. They're taking so many casualties here. It definitely is worth it for us to continue fighting here, because it concentrates a lot of their forces and equipment and everything. Purge of the party. How should we deal with the party? The problem is an internal one. We lose Ivan Lichev and Nikolai Yezov. The message of the revolution has not been clear. Alright, so who do we want to retain? Ivan Lichev, Andrei Andreev. Okay, Andrei Andreev is not here in either one of these. And the guy we want to get is Ivan Lichev. Jan Garmanik and Vasily Ulrich. So Vasily Ulrich we decided we don't want, and Jan Garmanik. Okay, so these guys we can get rid of. Okay, the message has not been clear. Yeah, I can't really do anything here. It's almost completely automated. Jeebus. Garkavi is arrested. The coup leader is revealed. Garkavi Ilya stops being a general. On March 11, 1947, the commander of the Ural military district, Ivan Garkavi, was arrested. He had quickly confessed to be a member of the Trotsky's coup, and also called many other names, including the head of the coup, Marshal Mikhail Tukachevsky himself. Even though Primakov and Putna are still unwilling to cooperate, the information provided by Garkavi is enough to continue the investigation. Alright. We just keep on bleeding everything. Trickleback, planning speed. We will get recovery, reinforce and planning speed, organization. Alright, let's get this one. Machine gun infantry coordination. They're expected to work together, which is going to give us a recovery rate. Guys, come on. Okay, I'm gonna delete your orders. Just give you an order to hold this. Seriously, we really need to repel this. I mean, they can kill their units on us if they want. The 3rd International Chopin Piano Competition. From February 21st to March 14th, 1937, Warsaw was the site of the 3rd International Chopin Piano Competition, or 3rd Międzynarodowy Konkurs Piastyczny im Fryderyka Chopina in Polish. It was the final competition before World War II broke out, and it wouldn't take place again until 1949. The competition featured 80 pianists from 22 nations, including 2 from distant Japan. The pianos available to the contestants were made by Bechstein, Bösendorfer, PL, and Steinway. Yakov Zhak, a pianist from the Soviet Union, won the top honor. Nice! With Lance Dosor from UK and Cheko Hara from Japan receiving special honors. Alright, so that was the last thing we needed to get Alexis. Wait, did we want? No, we want you, Ivan Lichev. So that just got us extra factories, which is amazing. We need to see where we need to continue building. Stalingrad. Are we building in Stalingrad? I don't think we're building in Stalingrad, are we? That's Stalino. Time grid is over here. We were not. We are now. Mit brennender Sorge, read in Germany. Written in German, not the usual Latin, it was smuggled into Germany for fear of censorship and was read today from the pulpits of all German Catholic churches on one of the church's busiest Sundays, Palm Sunday. The encyclical condemns breaches of the 1943 Reichskonkordat agreement signed between the German Reich and the Holy See. It condemned pantheistic confusion, neo-paganism, the so-called myth of race and blood, and the idolizing of the state. It contained a vigorous defense of the Old Testament with the belief that it prepares the way for the new. It states that race is a fundamental value of the human community, which is necessary and honorable, but condemns the exaltation of race, or the people, or the state, above their standard value to an idolatrous level, also declaring that man as a person possesses right he holds from God, and which any collectivity must protect against denial, suppression, or neglect. Although National Socialism, Adolf Hitler, and the Nazi Party are not named in the documents, all those who hear it know exactly who is being criticized, with some even believing it labels the Führer as a mad prophet. It has been the first organized criticism of the Nazi Party since they came to the power, and many Catholics have heeded the words of the Pope. In general, strike paralyzes French Indochina. French Indochina was paralyzed by a general strike organized and led by the young intellectuals, the bourgeoisie of the large towns, and the nationalist bloc. The strike was called to protest against the French mandate and the lack of political freedoms and economic opportunities in French Indochina. The organizers of the strike aimed to achieve national independence and to end the French mandate, which they believed was a form of colonialism that denied Indochinese their right to self-determination. The strike was successful in shutting down major cities and industries across French Indochina and gained widespread support from various sections of Indochinese society. The French authorities are responding with force, using military troops and police to suppress the strike and arrest its leaders. However, the strike continues and has already resulted in the death and injury of many Indochinese. The strike has brought the issue of French Indochina independence to international attention. The strike also demonstrates the growing political consciousness of Indochinese and their determination to fight for their rights and freedoms. Alright, so what's going on in Hubei? We're still fighting. Come on, break them. We can do it. And we're also still fighting here. Fighting against overwhelming odds. But they must be taking just egregious casualties. Yeah, they are really bleeding out. Ready border conflict. I'm not gonna read. Oh, snap, I forgot about the agent. Alright, so that means you have probably lost all of that. No, okay, that was actually pretty good. How's the network in Finland doing? Seeing a little bit of it. How's it looking in Germany? Alright, we're actually seeing more and more. Good for us. And we really need to finish these. These power plants, the energy is really bad, and I really don't have much more to cut. Jesus Christ, we're decimating them, but they still keep coming. Alright, there is a counter-offensive happening around Madrid. Nice, nice, nice. So I have a feeling that because we're, pulling in so many troops and so many resources on us and causing them so many casualties, they're probably bleeding out supplies. And while we are capable of replenishing it, they will most likely not be able to. Alright, come on. They can break. No, they just keep reinforcing. Fine, I'll take all your XP if you want. It's good. So what did we want to take? Local supply, small land grab. The nation building. We wanted to do the nation building, and we do want to take, I guess, the foreign industry investment, because that's gonna give us 4 factories. Expansion of the Red Fleet is continuing. Actually, there is an offensive against Cadiz happening. Alright, yeah, let's try to defend this. Hopefully this will allow... Well, we're reinforced nonetheless, because, you know, because there's so many forces here, they're probably weakening in Cadiz, which will eventually allow us to attack Sevilla. Italy-Yugoslav Treaty signed. Italy and Yugoslavia signed a treaty in Belgrade to respect their land and sea frontiers, and to provide for neutrality in case either party should be attacked by a third. This treaty aims to strengthen the bonds of sincere and lasting friendship between the two countries, and to establish a new era in their political and economic relations. The maintenance and consolidation of a durable peace between the two countries is also seen as an important condition for the peace of Europe. Well, fat luck it did them. Alright, we can do another Pripiska. So let's do that one. Then we're gonna do the nation building. And then we're gonna do the factories. Come on, repel them. You can do it. Looks like our forces are even not needed here anymore, which is good. Hopefully this is hurting them. Please tell me we are... Alright, nice. I was afraid that we could break here, but they are not the only ones reinforcing. So we'll win this in the end, which is good. 7.7. Taking heavy casualties there as well, though. We'll need to strengthen some of the production lines, especially things like horse transports and... Okay, infantry equipment is getting better. Infantry guns as well. But cavalry equipment, yeah, that one needs a lot of support. Victory in Hullenbeer, nice. Purge of the scientific community. That's one of the most egregious parts of the purge. By 1945, vernalization proved to be unrealistically laborious or even harmful because it decreased seeds germination. Lysenko attributed his failures to the work of enemies. The explanation was appealing to Stalin, who had already begun his policies of terror in the USSR. Vavilov was dismissed from the post of president of the Vashknil in 1935, with Lysenko taking the post in 1938. Lysenko has now openly accused geneticists of hampering his methods and named N.E. Vavilov and G.D. Karpechenko. A meeting of the Vashknil Presidium was held in April 1937, and Lysenko complained that Vashknil leaders supported his work poorly and that he was forced to ask for help. The Vashknil president A.I. Morelov and his deputies A.S. Bondarenko and G.K. Meister were shot soon afterwards. Of the 52 Vashknil academicians, 12 were shot on false charges in 1946 through 1948. President Novosenkov wrote an official complaint to the chairman of the Council of People's Commissars, Prime Minister Vyacheslav Molotov. They stated that Vavilov's public utterances were anti-Soviet and that Vavilov, together with other geneticists, makes every effort to give the impression of science being persecuted in our country. President Novosenkov called the prohibition of genetics, which has allegedly become a means to fight against avant-garde science. We have no one that opposes us. We lose 10% research speed. And we lose Viktor Abramukov, but we gain more political power. Viktor Abramukov. This guy. Or allows some new ideas. Research speed and daily opposition. Valius Boris Vovnikov. Do we have anyone we could put here instead? Production efficiency cap. Counterintelligence operatives. Naval targeting. I mean, I would probably want to allow some ideas. What is Vanikov? And let's allow some ideas. The extra 5% penalty to research is just crazy. So the question is now, do we want to counterattack? I don't think so. I think at this point we just want to get rid of them. And be done with it. Alright. Sounds like a plan. Now can we do destination building? And then, yeah. All right. Now we can do this. Go. Oh, you guys have. Oh no, you're gaining fuel. All right. Oh god, they launched another offensive. And there's just so many of them. And they, unlike us, have actual organization they can use. Ah, this is just awful. Alright, well I guess we're gonna be locked in here for a bit. Heavy artillery gun barrage upgrade. Gun barrel upgrade, not barrage. Okay, so what's next? What's next on our list of nice things to have? Okay, light artillery gun barrel upgrade. Same thing, but just for light artillery. Alright, and we finished more construction. I don't think we've got anything ready at this point. No, Minsk. Minsk is really bad. Stalingrad. Crimea. Do we have sufficient infrastructure in Crimea? We do. Can put 10 factories on Crimea. Sounds promising. Alright, guys. You guys need to go over here. You guys need to go over here, and we'll launch a counter-attack, because this one was lost. And I forgot to switch our aircraft. Oh, the Polycarpov. Alright, we'll have to do that. Ready border conflict in Hohenberg. Sounds like an amazing idea in theory. Alright, you guys will defend this. And you guys will attack here. I don't think we can get any planning bonus. We've already demonstrated. Yeah, we cannot. As volunteers, so there's not much we can do here, but we'll launch. Oh no, we won't. Alright, under attack as well. Dang it. Alright, well, anyway, let's end it here. The Spanish war is not going exactly great, but they have recovered a little bit of terrain around Madrid, so the border is... yeah, it's looking a little bit better. We are definitely hurting them. You can see that their forces are starting to have significant issues with reinforcing. So at least we can think that is a good idea. And good result. I mean, not a good idea. Good result of our operations. Man, I need more coffee. I apologize. I'm really, I'm really liking coffee. Wow, there's nobody in Hohenberg. Alright, well, think about that.